Oh, I missed that one. I was talking and with sign to Enortap. He was in the green room. I didn't see him. But welcome back to the Red Lights. Andre Recico, welcome. Thanks to be with us. An amazing, great Sunday night, January 18, 2026. I don't know if you are like me, but the vibes are the comeback of the Montreal Canadiens yesterday by 3 goals. And they've said a 2 goal. And then they scored an overtime goal. Cole Caufield scored the goal for the Montreal Canadiens. And since that, I'm just flying around with some kind of positive vibe for the Montreal Canadiens. I think we make the biggest robbery in Canada and Ontario Saturday night when they beat the Ottawa Senators by the score of 6-5. Yes, it was ugly, but still at the end, sometime in sport, we said this. We said sometimes could happen this way. You play like you should win the game and then lose the game. And then sometimes you don't deserve to win the game and you win those games. So it's something where the Montreal Canadiens did it yesterday. That happened a lot. But I can't wait to talk with you tonight, guys, about the Montreal Canadiens. And, of course, another comeback by the Montreal Canadiens. You can see, guys, 5-3 with 4:25 to go. And then at 4:27 overtime, Montreal win with Cole Caufield. So what a great night of hockey for the Montreal Canadiens and, of course, for the Hockey Nation and the Am Nation last night. And matter of fact, like... we'll be back at tomorrow night at the NCAA Championship football game, Indiana versus the Miami. And it will be my first game in NCAA college this year. Why not? To do the last game of the year. But that's what happened. People say, you did not do NFL. I'll be honest with you, I wake up at 2:45 and then I was completely exhausted. So I said, you know what? To be honest, sometimes you have to recognize listen your body. And it's like you go to the gym, right? Sometimes I don't do gym because I listen my body. And I said the smart move is to listen my body at 2:00 a.m. and then go back to the bed with a puppy and sleep well to be ready for the show at 8:30 tonight. That's what the reason I did not do NFL. But don't worry, I'm going to be back next week for the NFL and, of course, for more of the Montreal Canadiens. But Red Light Show, it's impossible to do it without him. He is waiting right now, ready to talk about the Montreal, le tricolore, le bleu blanc rouge, les habitants de Montreal, directly from Toronto, at the North Toronto, à York. Mr. Enortap is in the house tonight.
Hello, Coach. Hello, Hockey Nation. What a great day, eh, Coach? It was a bit. It was a bit of a tough go yesterday with that Ottawa game, of course. And as you said quite nicely, sometimes you don't deserve to win a game, but it speaks more to the culture of the team, right? If they're able to always stick together, not give up, and turn the tide, and that sort of will eventually lead into my headline a little bit later on. But it's great that they had the opportunity to come back, and just from a team chemistry perspective and their mindset, it does wonders. And I think it does quite the opposite for Ottawa. Even some of the comments made after the game by a couple players was not very, shall we say, nice in terms of building team chemistry. So it couldn't happen to a better team, Coach.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I think the word would pay a little bit more my attention when you said you resumed a little bit quick on the game is the word culture. And this reflects me a lot in my head the last 48 hours. The culture of Montreal Canadiens is different, unique, and that's for me, it's a big plus for the Canadiens. If you look, and again, it's not again those teams allowed, But look, the culture in Ottawa Senator, the last month example, like what's going on with Ulmark last night or yesterday. Sanderson talked about the goaltender. Those jab does not help the locker room at the end of the day. And we can go with the New York Rangers example. And all the time I talk about the culture. I always said if you want to have a great culture, you need stabilities or stability inside of your organization. So when I said that, keep your GM longer, keep your coach longer, keep the base of the foundation of your culture from the top to the bottom. And everybody believe on that one, everybody on the same equal, and treat your players or your employees nicely, with respect and dignity, loyalty. If you do that, like if you love them, you care them, and you serve them, I think all those kind of words, it will reflect at some point and during the game, and it will reflect at the outcome at the end. It's difficult to win the Stanley Cup, Mr. Top. It's very difficult. It's not something you can just find the pill magic, whatever it is. It's many circumstances happening and to have to fit at the same time. Talk about chemistry, the right players, everything like that. So point behind that is like we maybe never win the Stanley Cup. Maybe never. But one thing I realize now, Montreal Canadiens the next couple of years, for maybe X years, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, who knows? They're going to be at the top of the NHL. Top for me is the top 10. If you're hanging there every year at the top 10, you win 1 series, 2 series, you go maybe at the final, you lose, maybe you go in the third. Like, for me, a great example. If you look about the last couple of years, the Dallas Stars never won the Stanley Cup, but every year they're hanging there at the top of the top. They produce a great quality hockey to watch every single game. This is what I'm looking for me. The rest, it will just be, put more more cherry on the top of the cake. It will be better. It will taste better, right? By the end of the day, for me, this is the Stanley Cup. It's just one more taste on the cake. By the end of for me, this is what I'm looking for the Montreal. So I don't know if you agree with me about the word culture, but I think this is a really important word for me.
Yeah, it's absolutely that. It's culture, and it starts when you're rebuilding a team as Montreal has. And I agree, from the top down, it has to happen. There has to be that transparency, which I think everybody has so far. The players themselves standing up for each other. I think that's essential. And as you go through the tough times and you are faced with obstacles, that's what builds character after, and that all contributes to that culture.
You're absolutely about that. By the way, guys, we're going to have Luciano. Luciano, he take the plane late from Toronto, Mr. Tap. I don't know what time he'll be here, but he's behind. So he's maybe living in the Pacific mentally, and then he think the show starts at 9:30 his time. So we'll see when he's going to show up. We're going to welcome him. But before we start, Mr. Tap, we're going to go quick. We have a lot of people in the chat. They don't listen to to click on the likes. And Mr. Wildbrick, welcome back. What a comeback last night. Brew, welcome at PLW. Knocked the door with what tonight, Miss Matt? I don't see Stroud having any success as a bad weather. By the way, PLW, the tennis is on. Felix is playing right now. I don't know the last score, but I'm watching Edmonton. Just scored a second goal, Mr. Tap. 2-0 Edmonton again, the St. Blues on that one. Larry Lavallée never come back. Welcome back, Mr. Larry Lavallée. Rob is in the house. Welcome, all of you. About that, I remember the Rougeau brothers, the wrestler Samuel. Welcome. PS, knock the door. Very glad to see you, my friend PS. Roger Bouchard, Vermont, notre ami Roger. Marc Elliott, welcome back. Thanks to be with us. Wow, with 2010 at the halftime, 8 stop for minus in the 3 from ball. About that, Runway Kings, moderator, welcome. PS also, Mark and PS is on fire, Mr. Tab. You got all the chat with Mark Elliott about that. Mark Elliott says, stop to write, PS. I need to talk about football. Carol Lezic, believe you're right. Calvin Ator knocked the door after that. Calvin Ator took the spot of PS after that. And then we have Cool Wells. We have and the chat. Billy from Nova Scotia. Henry is in the house. Tonight, Bouchard for 6 times, Nurse for 11. Good night. Great, PW. Bouchard have an assist so far. Gary Cormier knocked the door. PS RDP. RDP, he's RDP, Mr. Tap, he's on honeymoon. Usually on honeymoon is only
He's
1 week.
flying
But for
high.
him, he is a 1 month of honeymoon. RDP wake up every morning, said he checked the standing. He said, "Is it in a reverse? Is it that way or that way?" He see Buffalo at the top. Then before he wasn't that. He don't know how to read the newspaper anymore. RDP, when he see Buffalo at the top, he cannot believe it about that. So last time I see that, it was Gilbert Perrault. He was on the ice with the Buffalo Sabres in 1970. About this, Guy back in the house. We have the full line, Guy and Billy together tonight. Gary continues talking about the Montreal Canadiens. Welcome back, Gary. Fun to see you, my friend Gary. He's busy, Mr. Top. He should stop by. What about GF with the Vegas? Got Ramus Anderson. Send the man, knock the door. Don't you see, guys, the Sunday nights about the question. You have any question you want to talk about us? We'll try to give you everything. Tonight she does, Roger. Right now, she's quiet on my feet, and she enjoyed the show listening. Enortap, want to know more about the Montreal Canadiens. N26, welcome back. Thanks to be with us. It happens one Calgary will prospect a pick the turn into the first. He won the cup. About that one, you're right. We'll talk about this next couple of minutes. Like I mentioned to you, try to pick up if I did miss someone. Kenneth KK is in the house. Good morning from Thailand. Happy Monday for Mr. Kenneth. Glad to see you, my friend. Fully doing well. Better weather in Florida and Thailand. Tony Reardon is in the house. Welcome back. Thanks to be with us. And then we try to pick it up everybody else. A lot of people talk all the day, Mr. Top. It's crazy to see that. All the people, great conversation, left and right, football, tennis, everything. Because get Anderson on that one. And that's all interesting. But will be on Australia after the season. Calgary got a defenseman that can play first round pick. Anything like that. So people talk about this. I don't know if you have this here, but let's see what we got here. Here we go. So let's talk about this before we go to the headlines. Then we can go Montreal Canadiens. Big trade around 5 o'clock today, guys. Calgary. It was just a question time. We knew, and everybody knew. Ramus Anderson knew they would be traded. The rumor sent him to Vegas, Carolina, Boston, maybe another team. Definitely Vegas again when the Trésor or the Mega Bowl tickets. This is not the first time they trade between both of them. Remember, guys, Annie Finn a couple of years ago with Vegas. So they have some kind of relationship between Conroy and McCrimmon. And Vegas, again, they find a way to get this and to win the prize for Ramus Anderson, the right defenseman. I think at 32.48 game. It's not the same Ramus Anderson like he was like 4 years ago when Calgary made the playoff with Goudreau and Katchuk, everything like that. His number dropped, but still a solid right defenseman. He knew after the game would be the last game in Calgary. Salute the fans, salute each players. And it was the end after many years with the Calgary. Vegas got a right defenseman without Pedinjado and a return, like everybody said in the chat, GF and N26. They got the White Cloud, a right defenseman, and then they have a couple of picks. And one that's not a great prospect, but they get this at the end. So what do you feel about that trade on both sides? What do you think about Calgary, and what do you think about Vegas, Mr. Tap?
Well, I think for Vegas, it's a good move. They with the injury, obviously, to Pietrangelo, and he's out of the lineup the whole year. They needed a little bit more stability back there to help out also with Theodore, who's in and out of the lineup most of the times. When he's in, it's great for them. Otherwise, it kind of hurts them to have a bit of an aging back. Set of defensemen. So I think it's a good move for Vegas. Did they give up a lot? Possibly, right? Because, and not only did they give up a first, but they also gave up a second, which is a conditional pick that, should they win the Stanley Cup, turns into a first the following year. So they could possibly come out with 2 firsts plus the prospect and White Cloud as well. So we'll have to wait and see on that, how it pans out. But right now, I'd sort of give the edge to Vegas, and I got to believe that they have some kind of already agreement with Anderson to sort of maybe stay at the end of the year, because they have to extend them. So um, that's the only way I would have seen the return to be that high.
You're right about that. Also, one more comment. GF, he just mentioned that. I was going to say that, but I will give credit for GF on that one. Calgary retained 50% of the contract of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Anderson. Usually, biggest guys, because N26 said that Anderson is UF free. Usually, when the Vegas make a trade, Mr. Tap, Anifin, they did with
yeah,
Anifin, and they did with someone, I cannot remember. But when you trade some player like this at the trade deadline, they usually sign the players right away the next couple of days or the next 2 weeks. Anifin, they gave him a 7-year contract, and they also another players. You have a one player hurt for the Kapanen. Okay. You have also another player for the biggest. Cannot remember. They got a trade at the trade deadline. It was UF free. They gave him a contract. So I think this is going to happening very quickly. Anderson, Vegas usually they don't trade like Toronto losing player. Like, Toronto trade for O'Reilly.
yeah.
They trade for Foligno. And they lose the player at the end of summer for UF free. This, I'll be surprised Anderson's going to go out of that one. The last couple of years, Vegas play without another right defenseman. Theodore was usually playing on the right defenseman because he only play usually with 2 right defensemen. That will satisfy that side because Petringer is not there anymore, so Theodore will stay there. But now the White Cloud, he was a right defenseman. So Anderson, I think Anderson is a good 4 defenseman, top the 4 defenseman. I believe for me, he the kind of player like Mike Madison, in my opinion. Like not similar kind of player, but the role inside of the Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah.
Madison play on special team. He is a solid second pairing defenseman, in my opinion. And I think that's Anderson going to do that. On the flip side, Calgary now are sending a message for the rest of the league. We're not rebuild, we retools. And this is the message up. We talk about Anderson since a year ago, right? We talk all summer where he's going to go, when he's going to be out of the Calgary Flames. There's nothing major change in Calgary. I think they open up now. They have Zane Parek and they have also the Brodnewitz. I believe the right defenseman opened the spot for the young prospect. They have a couple of young prospects. And the last year, or maybe 2 years now, maybe more last year and this year, Calgary accumulate asset. First round pick, and they will rebuild from that part of there. So I think it's good for both teams, and they understand the situation. Calgary knows they're not going to win anything. Vegas are on the streak of 7 wins right now? I believe they are 7 wins before the trade, before they lose 8 of the 9 games. So a little bit inconsistency. I think if you look about the analytic number, natural stats, their number analytic is good. The only problem they have is the goaltender save percentage, or the GSVA is not good. It's not high for them. So that's maybe one area they have to improve. But good. Listen, this is good for the Pacific Division. You have a Vegas. Now you have Edmonton also with them, and we'll see what's happening there. But overall, I think this is a good deal for both teams for what they're looking for and what they try to accomplish. So I think this is a good deal about that one. Before we move on, Mr. Anta, we check what we got in the chat. What a crowd. Guy, welcome back, by the way. If I hit the like button 3 times, does it count as 3 likes? No, only 1 likes about this, Roger. The only thing can do that is Mr. Danny T. Jeff, so that's what Enortap look like. Welcome, Mr. Enortap. M&M knocked the door up. He has Thomas Earl, Max Stone, and defend they will all have to play in Vegas, who will not PW. Great point about that. Pickford has the confidence to make the NHL, in my opinion, Gary Cornoyer, about that. Be honest with you guys, you talk about Pickford. I think Mark Elliott talk about the record of 33 goals. You talk that, Mr. Enortap. We're going to talk about Montreal the next couple of minutes, but I just want to mention one thing about Pickford. I'm always skeptical or a player at age out, at 20 years old, play on the CHL, on the Canadian Hockey Junior League, where because the age make make its friends on their career, everything like that. That said, I don't want to discredit Pickford. I don't want to tell you guys he's a bad player or he's never going to make he's never going to make NHL, everything like that. My only, I try to explain maybe not the right words, but I'm still not sure what kind of play he's going to be in American Hockey League and NHL. The step for him, like if you see Hudson play, if you see Demidov play, you see players play junior or other league, whatever. You can feel it, you can see it. He's going to get there. How he's going to be a seeding, we don't know. He's going to make it. For me, Pickford, I cannot say this. I cannot tell you yes right now. I have no clue. I have to wait what it will look like in American Hockey League. For me, prospect is I'm really keep my feet on the hurt and not to jumping really, really great, like excited about everything.
Cautiously optimistic.
So so I tried to explain that way, maybe not the right way, but hopefully you understand. But I don't know if you agree with me or not about Pickford. Super chat. Roger Delaney score the first goal of the game. Roger, notre ami Roger de Ontario. Roger Delaney, the first goal. Oh my God. Thank you. Roger Delaney scored the first goal of the game at the Hockey Nation show tonight. Thanks so much, Enortap, to join us on the dancing. Want to give that line, guys, a goal back and forth. Then Ivan Enortap scored a goal for the Edmonton Oilers.
And for Coach Frenchie. I know. You got the best of me. I'll say it. You won't. You're too classy. But he's beating me in fantasy hockey this week, and I'm going to incur a loss this week. So it's damaging, but that's okay. The playoffs are around the corner, and we shall meet again, Coach.
This week, I won my championship of the league. To this week, I beat the Sharks. Guys, I destroyed the Sharks this week at the BLCU. And
you won the battle. You didn't win the war. Don't worry.
And I wait until the end of the week to wait because since Tuesday, I know I have a really good chance to win. But I said I don't want to jinx my week, so I'm wait. And tonight, I was laughing because I think you are I think your team is a really bad matchup with me because some of the players are with my same kind of players. So, example, RHP scored a goal. RHN scored a goal tonight on power play. I give you 2 points, right? But I have Bouchard. So Bouchard get the, you know what I mean? Like you cannot step up because I have Bouchard, everything like that. So honestly, my players have stepped up for again. Week. Yeah, I motivated them last week, Mr. Top. I talked to them, have a meeting with them on Sunday morning. I told them, all right, we're playing off that this week. Pick it up, guys. We have to have this. You're lucky because I could destroy more. I put Alfer. I was so nervous. I didn't put Alfer. He gave me 15 points on that one. Anyhow, Mr. Top, Enortap, and then everybody in the chat thinks so. So Pickford, we're going to see, guys, what happened with that. Was the Bees last year, too. Of course, better again this year, a year older. You're right about this. Pickford, guys, have a really, he developed, or sometimes Kapanen happened with Kapanen also. If you know the story about Oliver Kapanen, guys, I suggest to checking this. Oliver Kapanen went to the military service for 6 months. And then he come back at the second half of the season, like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and he stepped up. Like he opened up really quickly. The following year, he had a great year in Liga. And then he wanted to play with Okenen, and then he went to Montreal Canadiens, return, and last year the SHL have a great year with Montreal. Picard guy, Pickford, same situation. He did not go in the military, but what happened with him? Last year at the second half, and then the playoff guy. And the playoff with the Medicine Hat, he had 13 goals in 15 games. And then it's on the Memorial Cup again. Again, guys, I'm not negative at all. I'm not negative because it could help the Montreal Canadiens in many ways. But for me, I have to wait to see when he's going to play again American Hockey League. You can see Tyler Top. Very good year last year, and look what he looked like. Yes, he's still young, Tyler Top, 19 years old. He's going to be 21, Pickford. I just want to be a little bit more cautious. That's pretty much what I'm trying to explain. That's pretty much about that. But again, thanks so much, everybody in the chat. Don't forget, please click on the likes. 10, the Rams and the Bears. 10. I don't have no favorite team, but for the benefit of the Chicago, with what's going on with the Cubs, the White Sox, and possible the Blackhawks. I wish the best for the Bears. I think for me, the tradition team, the long team in the sport, like you know what I mean, like I think it's good for the sport to see those teams came back like the Bears. I think there's been, I don't know the last time they won the Super Bowl or the final, but that would be good for me for that one. Bonsoir, Nicolas de Gobi-Bono. So we got through this. We got distracted, but we are back in the what we're supposed to be. And like we do at the beginning, guys, we do always the headlines. And Mr. Top, we did the headlines. You have the first one there, but you don't know what kind of picture you got, Mr. Top. That's the beauty about that one. You have the headline, but the title. But I work hard, Mr. Tap. I find someone in South Florida and on the ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Mr. Tap. I took a picture and I gave it to you for tonight, Mr. Tap.
Riding the wave. There we go. Well, as you know, Coach, it's very nice. I like that. Even the board itself is tricolor. Well done. Um, the Habs obviously are, just as everybody else is, in a very competitive race this year in the East. You have a good week or you have a bad week, it totally changes the position that you're in the wild card race for sure. But right now they're in a solid spot. If you look at probability, they're right now at about a 75% chance of making the playoffs. Montreal. Now, the problem here is there's areas of obviously improvement that they need to make, and areas where I think they need to continue to do what they've been doing. If we start first with areas that they need to continue doing well, I would say they have to continue to get top offensive production like they have so far. They seem to have found with the second line says an additional augmentation to their first line in terms of getting points. So it's not just Suzuki, Caufield, and originally Slavkovsky, but now Texier, that are getting the points, and it makes it a little bit easier, right? You can spread out the lines a bit more. You can obviously rest on the fact that you're in every game, no matter how much we're trailing by.
Go ahead.
Yeah. And and that's great. That's what they want. They want balance in scoring and depth as they're trying to establish. What does their third and fourth line really look like, especially as we start to get some of the injured players coming back in. The defense, again, young defense. I mean, the team itself, we're the youngest team in the league. I think that those kind of things sometimes are overlooked. They grow together, and they're going to make mistakes together, and that's part of the game. But the defense, they have to continue to be dedicated to the game plan. I sometimes, I think it might be easier if they went to a zone defense in terms of the responsibilities, because a lot of times what happens is there's one mistake that's made and it causes a series of dominoes effect with the other players, and as a result, you give up a lot of scoring opportunities, especially high danger ones. Goaltending stability is another point in terms of what they have to continue to do lately. Since they went to the three goalie system, it was to sort of get Monty back onto his game. And I think for the most part, he looks a little bit more confident in net. I thought yesterday wasn't perhaps his best game, but I think he made some key saves, especially in the third period, to keep the score within two. And then Montreal obviously did what they did. Areas that they still need to improve on. We continuously talk about the 2C, but the nice thing is now we're seeing that Kapanen is not out of place there, and he's continuing to grow. And for now, that might be the answer. Like until something comes up that is a little bit more conducive to where their plans are going forward, they stick with that. I mean, ideally, if you had him as your 3C Kapanen, it would make a world of difference because you'd be really, really strong down the middle. But for the time being, you have Suzuki, you have Kapanen, you have Dano, and you have Evans, and you still have Veleno that could play that position, even though yesterday he was as a winger. And if you look at the stats yesterday, all of them had 50% plus in terms of their face-off wins. So it's going to be tough. Like if you look at the remaining schedule that they have in the month of January and going into early February as well. They got Minnesota coming up. They have Vegas. They have Boston. They have Buffalo 2 more times. They have Colorado. So they're not easy games. And then the last two just before the Olympic break are Minnesota and Winnipeg, who Winnipeg now has sort of rung off about 3 or 4 victories in a row and look like they might try to make some noise in terms of getting out of the cellar in the West. So it's not easy for me. I see the year 2027, 28 as the window of opportunity for them. And the reason why I say that, Coach, is they're going to have a number of UFAs and RFAs that they either sign or are going to say goodbye to. Even this year, there's about 3 or 4 of them. So they have important decisions to make in terms of their roster construction, but it's going to free up a lot of money, and it's going to allow them to really focus in on areas that they need to solidify areas, be it on defense, goaltending, whatever the case might be. They're 2C if they go that route outside of the organization. So it's important. When you look at the overall picture, the final thing I'll end up with here.
So we have to go now. We have Gary Conway with $10 and Mr. Ron with Kingsco with $20. Guys, we'll go to a double super chat, Mr. Tap. Don't go nowhere. And we'll celebrate that one. Thank you.
Woo!
Here we go, Mr. Tap. We have a 2 super chat. Gary Conway get the one second goal of the game. Going to give it to Steven and N26. And on the third goal of the run, we came going to give that assist to Pete Martin. And Mr. Ovizio got an assist on that one. So thanks so much for all the prize of the super chat tonight. I appreciate all of you guys help the support of the channel. Mr. Tap.
Yeah, just final thing. I just looked up a few things today. Obviously, their power play now is at 23.9%, so they're 7th in the league there. Their PK is an area that they need improvement on. They're 21st, that's 78.1. But when you put those two numbers together, we get at about 102%, which is that around the magical number that we want to be at. In terms of, for me, important, especially moving forward now, is the face-off percentage victories. They're at 49.9. You like to be on the other side of the ledger for that. And I think, like I said before, with Dano, Suzuki, Evans, and Kapanen, and if you look at last night's game, all 4 of them had above 50%. So that's a good sign. I'm going to be looking at that very, very carefully, as I always do, because if you have the puck, you dictate the play, and it's as simple as that.
You're right about that. Of course, we'll talk about this game a little bit later, but look, this is going to be very interesting when the Montreal going to bounce back during the week. Again, 3 big game for that one. So let's move on for mine, Mr. Tap. And And I want to go this way, guys. They have to play 60-minute game right now. And this, for me, is really important. And I know we're going to give you by number, Mr. Top. I have about 12 different stats tonight by number for the team, for the players. It's fun to do that kind of exercise. I have to give credit for one of my friends that does all the time on Twitter. And I think Montreal Canadiens, the last couple of games last night, good first period. They're struggling. Mr. Top, second and third period. Go back to Saturday, Thursday, Buffalo. Good first period. Third period, miserable. Again, they gave the goal, everything. Washington, they come back, but again, there was not a 60-minute. The game Saturday against Detroit, they lose 4-0. Again, the third period, they gave 2 goals there, and they changed. So Montreal Canadiens right now does not play 60 minutes. Yes, they are tired, Mr. Tap. Yes, they have excuse you can give me to me. But again, this is a game where 60 minutes have to be the most important things for the Montreal Canadiens. We can give them credit. They come back, bounce back. But if you want to go through the season with 82 game, they have to play the most of the game with 60 minutes. That's what I'm looking for the Montreal Canadiens. And this comes with the puck management, the time management, the lineup, the roster, the decision making. And when you get fatigued, you make a lot of time more. Your awareness is not there, and this is what I'm looking for. A lot of comments and your comments for you. What you said, Mr. Top, and what the people send in the chat right now, they all reflect on what I'm talking about. The 60 minutes, they make mistake on defense. Montebo was not square, or the defense, the first line not play well. Everything I can go away like that, and this reflect for me on the 60-minute. Game. If they play that kind of players like that, I think Montreal will be in better shape to win more game. Still 33 game and on the program for the Montreal Canadiens, and I think this is what I'm looking for. And this week, because what Stan the man just said to us, Mr. Tap, the Montreal Canadiens have a busy week, like you mentioned. Minnesota Tuesday, Buffalo Thursday. And again, Boston next week, and the 3 team. Minnesota struggling the last couple of days, a couple of games. Now they play without Boldy and someone else. Erickson, AK, I believe. So Minnesota is a little bit more. Yeah. So Minnesota a little bit more injuries, big name. That said, it's not over yet. You cannot consider Minnesota because Montreal is struggling always with a big team, heavy team. And then Thursday, we know what happened with the Buffalo Sabres. We know what happening. Boston on the straight, 6-7 win right now. The Boston Bruins are back in the race, everything like that. The Rams take the lead 17-10 mark. Thanks so much, Truclo. They will learn something they have all way. That's one. Knock the door. Pierre Dano trade is all paid off. Dano is so smart. He saw the downfall of the Kings and the rise of the Habs run with Kings. Pete Martin, I like her. Warrior Gallagher, Dano Anderson line, Billy and so on. Jeff, our fans are gonna be on this. Gary Conway, not always easy for Dano, but already won some crucial face-off to Habs. I want to open up right here, PW and Gary, about Dano. Yes, he gave the goal maybe on
the night
against
before.
Buffalo, right? The battle there, but still, you lose battle. Hudson make a mistake after that, and then Budsy there cover the guy. I can go the way like that. So we cannot be too much on Dano. But Dano yesterday on the goal of Sekeski goal from the shot from Hudson, that was Dano face off again. So Dano again delivery for what we're looking for. Do we like him to get better on the offensive side of the game? I think he loses his speed a lot, but I think it's a good experienced players play on the details of the game. We're helping the Montreal Canadiens a little bit what they're looking for. So I think this is good to see that. Coach Janine, I'll be in around 9:30 in the chat, Luciano. So we'll look forward to that. Steven Calgary got a good return and for that one. Jeff Evan is back, goalie too. You're right about that for sure. For the NHL guys, we're not going to go around too much about the NHL at the end of the day. The trade was the biggest one, and the standing, you know what's going on. 3 game only today happening in Enortap. Tampa Bay win and Detroit win. So It's hard. At the flip side, Mr. We're starting to see a disconnect between the bottom and the top of the I think now it'll be really harder for the team. Florida still and try to come on
Trouble.
bounce back, but again, everybody win. That's not easy. So a disconnect like Rangers right now. I don't think so. Rangers come back. We see now the Columbus.
Yeah,
Of
the
course.
bottom
Go ahead.
the bottom teams, of course, we're seeing also Philadelphia fall down, Ottawa, as you mentioned, New Jersey. I mean, probably the biggest surprise in the entire league right at this point, more so than the Rangers in my eyes being last. So, yeah, those teams are falling off, but you're starting to see other teams like you said. Boston is there. Buffalo has had the great run that they've had. The Leafs are starting to climb up as well. You can't discount Washington, of course. I mean, Washington. I think they've only fallen off because they've had Wilson out of the lineup, and that means a lot to that team, obviously. Uh, and of course, Florida's going to make some noise, and they're going to get back into this, and they just want to. They don't care where they finish, coach. They're a team that knows how to handle these kind of obstacles that have come up. Injuries have played a big part. The thing that's surprising, coach, is the West. We thought the top 8 or 9 were pretty much settled, but there's some surprise teams that are starting to make their way up and some that are going down. So can somebody like San Jose hang in there? Who knows?
What is surprised me, and I make a mistake about saying we so far, but still wait. It's really the Nashville.
Yeah, Nashville's on quite a streak.
Nashville is in the middle to make the playoff right now. Like that's crazy about that. San Jose hanging there, Anaheim is hanging there, Seattle Kraken is there too. So really interesting what happened. Of course, we're going to wait for Luciano come back for talking about the rumor in NHL about the New York Rangers and other team guys. But we're going to move on, Mr. Tap. At the ad news, guys, it's easy today. Not much. It's a day off for everybody. So yeah, nothing's going on other than the fact that Laval lost yesterday again with Fowler. 0-0 after 40 minutes for Fowler, and then he collapsed a bit at the third period. But we're not going to complain about Fowler. Laval difficulty lost the last 4 games right now with them. But the other fact, yeah, nothing talk about the injury, everything like that. Other fact, miss Lining mentioned maybe they are ready to move on at the trade deadline, so it'll be interesting what's going to happen about that one. But let's talk about the game recap of what happened yesterday, Mr. Tap, and then we're going to give you guys a little bit information what's going on for the Montreal Canadiens. Here we go, Mr. Tap. The fact that Luciano is not here, we're going to remove the number 2. And Felix is in trouble right now. And on the Australia, Wobbleton is in trouble right now. So we'll see about it. Mark Elliott, talk about RIP St. Louis Blues. Phil Goyette passed away at 92 years old. Forget about that. Absolute about this on this one.
7 seasons, bro.
Yeah, Phil Goyette passed away at 92 years old. A couple of people talk about this. RG mentioned that at the top here with Mark. Enter 6 tried to pick up sometime, couple of things. Good ad management, offer Gallagher a job with the team, doing something. Let's say 3 years, $2 million per. He could agree to retire after season. That way, he does not lose $6.5 million. About that, and usually at 235 years old goalie, and the expensive one has been Mark Elliott. And let's see everything like that. So thanks again for the 3 goals we got tonight. A snapshot by Caufield for the winner, Jeff Monner. Claude Richard, welcome back. Thanks to Butas, the Rangers, and another rebuild. Jeff Gordon might be laughing about that one. Here we go, guys. Mr. Tap, I'm going to go thread here. I have too many things here. There we go. I'm going to give you what's happening, Mr. Top. Then after that, you can talk to me if you don't mind. Hudson, 3 point yesterday, guys. Lane Hudson, unbelievable season. It blew my mind, guys. Lane Hudson, 2 goals from Sakoski yesterday. He had, I believe, 19 goals right now. Caufield scored 2 goals, 24 goals. Carrier, a goal. What is very impressive for Alex Carrier, guys, is this week, Carrier had 3 goals with the Montreal Canadiens at the moment. Very important. So it's good for him. Anderson, 1 goal. Anderson, 3 goals. The last 4 games, Anderson come back from an injury. Looking good. And Montembeault, you can consider him a really bad night. For some of you can consider him. He has some goal you wish you can stop it. But I want to remind everybody, the big save back-to-back at the third period when it was 5-3 saved this game, guys. So sometimes we're only looking for the negativity on that. I don't say it was excellent. Yeah. My point is he make a big save there, turn around, and change the momentum, everything like that. So we have to get him for Montembeault. And after that, talk about the power play. 2 more goals for the power play for the Montreal Canadiens. And I want to applaud Martin Saint-Louis. Why? He talked about, but he take a decision at the third period to use Sakoski on the first line, and he benched a lot Kapanen. That said, why do you use Sakoski? He was trying to turn around or to make a kind of sparks or change the momentum also. I'm going to talk to you guys one thing a little bit later in the show, one problem that Montreal has, and they have to figure out something, and that will reflect also on Sakoski. So, look, Francis Auger Alicime, guys, wow. First round is on the wall, losing 2-1 set right now. Unbelievable for Felix at the, I don't know what kind of Australia Open. So, wow, interesting to see that. Anyhow, what do you think about this one? I can go with the one more thing before that. Lucky to win, come back. Good first period, bad second period, third period, lacking on pace, execution, and the fast of the game. So let me know what you think about this.
Well, it's no surprise that Montreal, we've seen it with Washington and a couple of other teams that are bigger. They have trouble. They, as I said before, they really do a great job of clogging up the neutral zone, which makes Montreal's strength, which is transition and speed. It minimizes that, and so it keeps everything on the periphery. And when you do that, you're going to get low shot count, which again we saw that yesterday. I think they only had about 18, 19 shots on net. I mean, we're lucky to get 6 goals. I don't think the goaltending on Ottawa's end was anything to get happy about. So it was fortunate for us, but nevertheless, they have to try to score more goals from high danger zones. And sometimes I find that they're getting a little bit too cute with their passing. Sometimes they're right in a danger zone and they pass the puck away. So they have to really have a lot more confidence. Like you saw that first goal on the power play by Slafkovsky in the bumper spot, right? As soon as that puck came to him, bang, it was gone. And that's what you need. You get that opportunity to shoot on net. Like, don't worry about picking corners. The idea is you're going to put a puck on net and a rebound comes out in a high danger zone again, and you have somebody in front of the net that could easily tap that in or deflect the puck. So we need to see more of that. I agree with you 100%. I thought Monty didn't have his best game, but when the time came, he kept the team in it. And for me, that was really. We're going to talk about it later when we do our turning point. But for me, that's what it was really. It was a key point in the game. So overall, not the greatest game for Montreal, but they pulled it out, and that's what's important, getting those 2 points.
You great point about that. A lot of great comments here, left and right for the people in the chat. about the game overall. I want to mention one more thing about what you just said. I think we have to talk about this. Who is struggling? Goalie is difficult for goalie right now. I understand he come back. He play maybe 3 games. He rusty. He play left. He play
It'll take
right.
time.
It's not an excuse I want to bring to him, but it's not a goalie. We see him. I said he's still fighting, or he's very cautious about what's going on. You know, it's just a bit harder.
What it is
about that.
Yeah, what it is with a groin pull, coach. Like it's not the first time that he's had that, and so he thought he was totally okay with that the first time, and when it happened again this year, now he's got it's playing in the back of his head a little bit. He's not he's not getting into situations, into battles as much as he did before. It's something that will come with time. We kind of saw it with Kirby Doc with his knee from a couple years ago. He was very timid to get into corners and fight for the puck, but he slowly was coming around until he got injured again. And I suspect the same thing will happen with Gouli. I think as he feels the strength there with his leg, he's going to be fine.
Yeah, of course. Bernie Gallagher, look, we talk about him many times. We turn that. We know he tried. I know he scored a goal this week, everything. I don't know how he it's difficult for him this year, honestly. And more the game gets faster, or the team is faster, you have more difficult team with the Montreal, and he's still hanging there, right? He tried to get effort. That's what we get for him. But look, when you go that selection, you take bad penalties, or you become indisciplined. You try to bring some kind of leadership in the locker room, everything. He gave his heart. He tried his best. But at the end of the day, we need more, or we need something there. That will reflect, guys, on my next point when I'm going to bring to you about the Montreal Canadiens. But I still believe, Mr. Enortap, this is not easy for him this year, Brendan Gallagher.
No, not at all. It's tough, right? Like we saw a little bit of a reprieve last year when he had a little bit more speed to his game. It looked like he wasn't. His strides weren't as labored as they seem to be this year, and he really can't stay on the ice for long stretches of time, which makes it very difficult in terms of your line combinations, because obviously, the other two players being younger players. Yesterday, he was with Dano and Anderson. Now they're not young, and they've slowed down a little bit as well. But Anderson still got the speed, and that's what affords him, a more effective game than what Gallagher has.
Now you're right about that. So we have to wait what is going to happening to him for sure. Kapanen, for me, it's not against him. Try to explain to you guys about Kapanen, but he had a difficult game last night. I think he was -3. He got benched. He was really not there yesterday. He missed a couple of goals this week. I understand. It's not against him. I try to explain to him. He's still young, right? But again, I like the fact they find this, and they've put him on the site last night at the third period. And then, look, this is a really good surprise for them, honestly, this year. Galley is not a problem from other power play. It just has to be on the front of the net. His problem is 5-on-5.
Well, that's the other problem. If his problem is 5-on-5 and he shouldn't be on the power play, it doesn't leave much wiggle room in terms of where do you put him. And then when you do put him on that second power play unit, like what's he doing on the periphery? What's he doing on the half wall? Like this is a guy that's made his bread and butter in front of the net, distracting the goalie, moving the defense out of the way, and being just a pest in front and getting those deflections for, hard-nosed goals. And you don't put him in front of the net, then don't put him on the power play.
Now, good point about that. I'm going to ask a question to you and the people in the chat. And this question, guys, I'm honest with that. I could tell you, I asked the question, I can credit, but it's not by credit. This one's coming from Gary Connery on the Discord. We have a Discord, guys. You can join the conversation. Discord, guys. all the time with us. We talk all the time there. And Gary, going to ask you this question today. If I have a choice, Mr. Tap, and you talk about power play, Gallagher, Maurice Tucker is not a problem. If I want 5 return on that, I'm going. He remind me last year, Patrick Laine situation. That said, if you have a choice right now for the, he's coming soon, Patrick Laine. Do you want Gallagher or do you want Patrick Laine? And I don't think both should be on the same lineup at the same time, in my opinion. But if you think about the logic or the common sense, who do you put on the lineup and the roster? Because that's fun, maybe kind of problem on front, but at the end of the day, Montreal have to figure out that. I think for me, who do you take, Laine or Gallagher?
Or Gallagher? Well, it depends on the perspective you take, right? When you look at the two players and you say, okay, which one affords me a more dangerous offensive threat? It's got to be Laine, without a doubt, right? Especially on the you put him on the power play on the second unit there. I think that's where his strength is. But if you're looking at it from a perspective of who goes out there and gives you the greater effort and is the it's the grittier player, then it's Gallagher. But I think the writing's on the wall for both these two players. Laine's contract's up at the end of the year; he becomes a free agent. And Galley, I'm almost 100% certain that something is going to happen internally in terms of accelerating his retirement or minimizing it as possibly as a 13th, 14th forward. And he's the kind of guy that would never complain in a million years. That's just his DNA. Uh, he could be a voice of a veteran voice behind the bench or working in the background with a lot of the youth. I think his talents are well served in Montreal. But if I had to pick somebody, just because I think the power play the second unit could use some help as well, I would probably say Laine.
Yeah, you're right about that. A couple of people in the chat. A2, welcome back, by the way. Look, this is going to be very interesting what the players coming back, right? The Laine, the Doc, and see what they're going to do with New Hook after that. Where they're going to, what kind of decision, and we have to wait. Sad to see Gallagher go. Don't trade him to Detroit. Jeff, thanks. My chance for Gallagher. Get hit time. Gally have a lot of the trouble defensively this year. That's one Montreal should seriously consider some trade. PS. I will not be sure about that. Enortap remark said he with Pachio about Subban back in the days about that. So we have to wait what will be happening. The 5-on-5 is set up. That's another thing we want to talk about this before we move on. It's been really difficult for the Montreal Canadiens the last couple of weeks. We have a conversation with PS and yourself about the Suzuki or the first line. And not only them, I think we can say other line, but how is your situation about the 5-on-5 for the Montreal Canadiens?
Well, I think as a team, it's an area that needs to improve. I think we opened up the show today speaking about that, and even in my headliner, I brought that up as well. It's an area they have to improve on because it's essential, especially for playoff time. Now, having said that, at the end of the day, if Suzuki, Caufield, and whomever, whether it's Slavkovsky or Texier, are getting points and they're getting them on the power play, then that's fine too. That's part of the game. The power play is a huge part of the game. The special teams, right? And so if they're getting their points, and right now you got Suzuki at 54 points in 49 games, like you can't complain about that. Like he's drawing the most ice time of any other player, any other forward, I should say, on this team. And there's a reason why Marty St. Louis relies on him. If he wasn't doing his job, he would do exactly what he did with Kapanen and sit him at certain points. But he knows that what he brings to the game. And for many, many years, our biggest complaint was when are we going to get a 1C? When are we going to get a 1C? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a 1C right now. And, yes, does he have areas of that he needs to improve in? Yes. But I think that could be said for about 80% of the NHLers across the league, especially at that position. He draws the toughest defense every single night, and you see it takes a toll on him, and he's also not playing at 100% right now. Like in some ways, in a very selfish way, Coach, I almost had wished that he wouldn't make Team Canada because it would give him a well-deserved break, so that he can come out strong after the Olympics. But I totally understand, and I'm happy for him that he did make it. Let's just hope that he doesn't grind himself down to the ground.
Yeah, the good thing about this, I think we make a big plate about the Olympic Ontap. At the end of the day, guys, they play only 6 games. It's not like
but there's a lot of travel too, right? Like they're going to Europe
but I
and
think
back,
if you think about that, what he's going to get under his back with and the luggage, experience, play around the best of the best. I think this is a really interesting game, guys. I don't want to bother you, Mr. Top, but the Bear are right now at the line of the red zone with 1 minute to go remaining, guys. 17-10 Rams. They knocked the door. We'll see if they can do it. They missed before that, but the Rams guy are right now at 20 at the red zone of the Rams with first at 10 and 53 seconds to go. And we'll see again a gain of 8 yards, Mr. Top. They are at 12. And the Bear guys are the number 1 in the NHL history of the NFL with the most comeback with 7 this year, including the playoffs. So
that's right.
Will be interesting what happening about that. Mac and get back from Laval. Oh, I'm not sure about that one, but Beck is back. PS. No. Guy scored a goal, guy, at the Hockey National Show. Guy, we're going to get another goal, the number 4. Oh my God! Thank you. He did it again. Guy scored a goal at the Hockey National Show, guys. Thanks so much. I'm going to get an assist on that one. Rob and PS got an assist on that one. And that's it. Third, 4-4, Mr. Tap, with 27 seconds to go for Chicago. This is the game right there, guys. 4-4 with 27 to go. 1 timeout for Chicago remaining. We have to wait if they're going to go with a run. I agree with you, Coach. Suzuki will benefit going to the Olympics. Let's see the play, Mr. Nata, if you don't mind. On that one, we have live play-by-play. That's what we do here on that one. Maybe while we do that, guys, you maybe have a time to do this if you don't mind. If you want to get there, Mr. Nata, also after that. But we're going to find the stood out, the obscure at the office and the turning point. So you can think about this. No, we have a timeout, I think, by the by Chicago about that. So we'll see, Mr. Nata, who are the stood out, the obscure at the office and turning point.
Yeah, I mean, I think at different points we've kind of hit on them already. For me to stood out, I'm going to go again with Lane Hudson. I thought that his not just his 3 assists, but he was involved in every play. He was a +1. He had 3 shots on net. I think he had 3 block shots as well. I'm pretty sure he had the most ice time at just over 26 minutes last night. And it's just always a force to be reckoned with. Like, of course, when you play as much as he has, sometimes you're going to see a couple mistakes. Touchdown.
Wow, Mr. Tab, you missed that one. Caleb Williams, he was chasing by 6 players. He ran about 20 yards backwards, and then he sent a touchdown pass.
Oh, my gosh.
And we are now 17-16. Right now, I don't know what happened with the TB. I don't have no clue. But
He
maybe
he
the
lost his
people
man.
know the football can tell me exactly what happening there. But what the heck is going on? And now we have to wait, Mr. Top. We saw many times the kick after the touchdown to
And
be
yeah,
missed
they're gonna miss.
on that one. And we're going to see that if we have a time right there. And I'll be honest with you, the kicker, he kicked really low. he didn't. He did not extend the legs. It's like a golf that we do a putt for the par. You just click a little bit, so he's going to go quick, and you can see that one. But again, guys, we have to see that replay, honestly, of the Rams, and you're going to see the William back up about 10 yards, 15 yards, 20 yards, guys. And we have to see, guys, have no clue what happened with number 14 and number 37 on that one, guys. This is going to be a really interesting call. Highlights this touchdown, guys. A breakdown by the Rams on defensive side. So, happening, guys. Stood out, Mr. Top. You took Hudson. I will go with Caufield on that one. Obscure. I try to always to go with the players. Make it fun with now on the scoreboard for me. It's a tough one on that one for me. Can I go with Dano because he won a face-off? And then after that, the PK was not good tonight. 2 goals against Ottawa. I have to go with someone have a go. I would go with Lane Hudson on that one with 3 assists. I know it's not great, but I will go with obscure about that. At the office, Mr. Tap, I'll go Kapanen. I know I'm tough with him, -3 at the end of the night. I'll go with Kapanen. And then also a turning point for me, Mr. Tap, is honestly the goal, the stop of the Montembeault. At that moment, it was not a turning point, but the fact he stopped the puck and then Montreal came back with 2 goals, I'll consider that the turning point for Montreal because if they score, this game is over, honestly. So here we go, guys. You got Gary Conner go with Sakaski, Carrier. That's a good one. Carrier, obscure. Office Jekai for him.
I would disagree with that, but my obscure coach was Josh Anderson. I thought
that's a good one.
He had another strong game. In terms of turning point for me, yeah, I agree with you with Monty, but I also thought Slavkovsky with that key goal at 15:30 of the third period, it really changed the momentum because Ottawa had the most of the momentum, especially that second and early part of the third. And then for the office, unfortunately, Gallagher.
Yeah, you're right. Pierre W. gave us a good point. Martin Souy take out the goalie at 5 minutes remaining. So I think this is a good one also. Ron, I would say Dano face-off winning was the send out for Ron on this one. And Sakashi, no, I don't have it. Pierre W, Mark Elliott, everything like that. So a lot of great comments about everything for this one. Mr. Tap, we don't have Mr. Luciano yet, so we're going to move on with the next thing to do.
He chickened out again? Oh my goodness! Oh my.
I don't know what's going on with him.
These Leaf fans are not reliable. Oh my god! Oh my
god! I want to talk, guys, about something here, and I think it was a bit mentioned by Martin Souy yesterday, and I think you guys you talk about this, and I think this is coming to be a problem, and I think could affect the Montreal Canadiens right now. And I'm here waiting, Luciano. Waiting for where you at, Luciano. Let's see if you are here in the chat, Mr. Tap. Let's see about this one.
You went to Maple Leaf Gardens.
Yeah, I don't see you there, Luciano, an interview. And if you
I'm in the green room.
I'm in the green room, coach. Yeah. And I don't know, Mr. Tap. I'm going to do something here. I don't know if I can do that. I cannot do this.
He's in the green room for a Marinero, maybe.
Yeah, no, we have a problem with the green room tonight. Mr. Tap was in the stop. I did not see him. And then I turn off, and then I turn on. But if I turn off, Mr. Tap, you disappear. So I don't know if it will work or not. So try to figure out something else. Because you are knocking at the door. Yeah, but you cannot go in. I would try and sign back in, Luciano. Try to do it again, but I'm not sure it will work or not. Mr. Nathan, I want to talk
Try
about
saving.
something people want to mention about this. I want to talk about the word heaviness for the Montreal Canadiens. And when they play a team, and I'm talking about the forechecking and physicality and 200 and everything like that, but I'm talking about heaviness. When the team play with heaviness against Montreal Canadiens, they are already struggling for them. Uh, it's okay, coach. Don't worry. All good, Luciano. Sorry about that, my friend. That's happening. We locked the door, Mr. Natap, after 8:30. That's the problem. He's stuck in the. We don't turn around this.
So last week it was a mic problem. Now it's a green room problem. I don't know. These excuses are really amounting here. Come
Yeah,
on,
maybe
Luciano, get on the
maybe it's a
show.
game there about that. So the point behind AVNS, guys, is like Martins. We talked about this yesterday a little bit, but I want to mention more about this. And the words coming because he said something during the press conference, and I want to share it, and then you guys you have to realize that. He said, I bring Sakiski on the first line because it was played with AVNS, the other team. So what he realized, Montreal can play smaller, what happening for them. And this is a really where I think that's what they have to figure out. Montreal Canadiens, I talk about Gallagher, and I talk about this. You can be 5'11", but you have to be big. And think Montreal Canadiens right
Like,
now have some kind of problem with the team with AVNS, or the team plays some kind of the strategy against Montreal Canadiens where they are small about this. That said, I think the top six have to be those kind of players. I think Montreal have to look in about that. But this is a great example of what Martin said we after the show. And I want to hear
yeah.
from all of you in the chat where he talk about, I put Sakaski in the first line because we need to be more AV or heaviness that was missing on the first line. Is it a problem? Is it where the Montreal have to focus at some point where the people said, no, he's not right? Or how you feel about that? Everybody in the chat, you, Mr. Enortap, about that situation. Recognized, by the way, by Martin Saint-Louis.
It's a big gap, coach. We have to get a bigger, stronger, heavier team, especially when it comes to the playoffs. So some of the concerns are going to be to try to get players that fit that mold. And when you're moving Slavkovsky back and forth from second to first and back, and it's great because as the game is getting towards the end, and you should be doubling up some of your better players. It's good that way, but you can see it's hard once he gets the puck. It's kind of like when we had our Mia, right? They're hard to move off the puck, and so they control the corners. They control, the play that's going to emanate in front of the net. So that's what I think he meant. Like you can't push. It's very difficult to push somebody like Slavkovsky off the puck. He's just got too much strength, and now he's learning. Even his shot is much different this year, if you've noticed. That doesn't necessarily have anything to do with size or anything like that, but I'm just commenting as an aside that I'm noticing quite a difference in the release of his shot. He's not waiting that second to take the shot, allowing everybody to adjust defensively, including the goalie. As soon as he gets that puck, it's off the stick, and we're seeing success with his 19 goals so far this year. So yeah, we do need to get bigger. We need to get stronger. We need a fourth line that brings some grit to the game as well, and gives you energy, and just gives you, even if it's 20 to 30 seconds of an opportunity to rest your star players, and that fourth line is not going to hurt you. That's the important thing, and I think they will try to address that this year.
You're right about that. Maurice talked about Blais situation. I think for me, it was a bit surprised to not keep Blais in the lineup
Yeah,
yesterday.
I agree. I agree.
A2 talk about Kirby Dak and possibly go back on the first line. Ron talk about maybe keep Armia. Trade is need to get the AV player with the experience. Gary Conway at some point. The Rams just kicked the ball, Mr. Tap, for the Bear. The King, the Ram was stopped. Was stopped, by the way, on that one. That said, it's
I think when Doc comes back, I mean, obviously, I think now the writing's on the wall that he's not going to be a centerman. He's going to be a winger, and I think that suits him better. Now, whether you put him up on the first line again with Caufield and Suzuki, or I was even thinking you put him on the third line, center Dano with Anderson on one side, who brings you speed and size, and Doc on the other side, who does exactly the same thing. I think that that would be a very effective line.
Yeah. It may take, it could be a couple of games. It will depend on how they skate in. Look, they will have to be bigger on the top six because you have Caufield, and against nothing against Caufield allowed. And I said Caufield is going to be he's not a good play, but you cannot use Caufield with another small players. You cannot have two small players in the top six. It will have to become bigger, and that's something they have to figure out that one in the next couple of weeks. How are they going to keep the same roster to the end? No trade and wait what's going to happening, and then possible. I have no clue what they're going to do. But I think at some point, the fact Sakowski last night jumping with Zuski and Caufield, you can see already some kind of connection come back at both of them. And we have to wait what they're going to do next, because now Patrick Laine, is it the solution? Is it could be that the solution? Is it Alex Newhook? Are they going to split again Demidov and Sakowski on the second line, helping the first line, and then bring back a guy like, Doc or Newhook or something like, a guy, I don't have no, I don't suggest anything here. I just open up the door. I just, I don't say, oh, they have to do that. It's just for me, are they going to do that or not allow they prefer to keep? We ask us this question, everybody. Do you think it should be better for Montreal keep Sakowski on the second line or bring him on the first line?
You have that flexibility. I would keep him on the second line, because I think right now it works well with Demidov and Kapanen, and he loves driving the, like, here's the difference as well. When he plays on the first line, he's playing on the right wing. When he's playing on the second line, he's playing on the left side, and he's much more effective. He seems to be more comfortable at that spot than he does on the right wing. So it's possibly one of the reasons why he's doing as well as he has been on that second line.
But the key behind that is, okay, who can play helping the second line? And I think for me, Sakowski on the second line balance more the top six, in my opinion.
Yes, I agree.
That's what I can see. That you put all your eggs on the same basket, you know what I mean? But that Enortap, nothing wrong, and you can see that. I think N26 is here. Some other people see that. Sometimes, guys, they would put Tressalol with McDavid back again together to create some kind of offensive. Malkin split with Crosby. Boom, they switch Crosby back with Malkin about that. So we'll see. Really bad play by the decision making a run against Chicago. Lose now a couple of yards. I don't know why they not go with passing on this one, but we'll see. Sakowski should stay on the second line. He defer too much on the Caufield Suzuki. Florent won't help on the top second line. Seven at the regular ends. Florent is big man with talent. Lanny may be trade also having a role on the kit there. I'll be honest with you guys. If you look,
and that's the other thing.
If you look about Laval right now, the last couple of games, I think I see 3 of the 4 games. As not said, it's a lot, but I think this is 1 yard short, guys. Not 1 yard, guy. It's a couple inches.
On fourth down?
Or down, yeah.
Yeah.
The next score win game, Mr. Enortap. So
yeah, sudden death.
You have to go. You have to go. Me, I
You
will
have
go.
to, yeah.
They decide to go, by the way. That's Mr. Enortap. I lost my ID now. I completely lost what I was trying to explain to you, and we got the first down. By the way, on this one, what I was talking about, I completely lost.
Well, we were talking about balancing the second line by having Slavkovsky there, and.
Maintenant, Mr. Enortap, I completely missed that one.
First and 10.
Johnny Golden is on the house. Welcome back, Johnny. Thanks to be with us. I was talking about the balance of the first top 6 over there, of course. And look, this is where I believe Montreal had to figure out something. Slavkovsky, I think the top 6 will be helping better on the second line, like N26. Are they going to try to run after Anthony Manta? It can help in the top 6. Detroit bring GVR on the top 9 to balance the top 9. Montreal have a ton of players right now, but can they be on the end turn where it could be Dak, Alex Newhook, Patrick Laine could help in the top 6, because that's what we're looking for. It's I don't think Alexandre TC, guys, is the right answer. We have interception, guys. At the line, 22nd, interception by William. The Rams get the ball back on that one. A turnover on this one. That might be also work on the second too. It will be interesting to see how is skating when he get back on that one. Everybody thought about that. That is the best option, first line winger, if it's not Slavkovsky.
Remember, he started off there, Coach, right? He started off with Caufield,
right? You're right about this and that. The logic or the common sense said Doc has the size. He has a size. He's a 6'4", right?
Right.
And if he can play inside of what he can do, I think he could be an asset. I still believe, for me, Doc should complete better Cole Caufield at TC with Cole Caufield. I understand TC have 6 points. I understand that. It's nothing like negative against him. But I think Doc can complete. And when I say complete, it's not about the point. It's about what they're looking for that line to do together, like the chemistry together. I could be wrong here, but I just want sharing this point about that. I don't know how you feel about this.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And like I said, he started off there when he first came to Montreal on that line, and he was relatively effective before he got his injuries. You know, it's going to take time. I don't think they're going to throw him on the first line right away. I think that they'll probably start him lower, like maybe in the middle 6 somewhere, give him an opportunity to sort of get back into the groove of things, into game shape for him, and then they'll take it from there. And that's what these last 40 games, 39, 40 games are all about, is to try to establish what lines will work best for you and give you the best chance to win.
Now, good point about that for sure. People, welcome back. Lee and Joy. It's a good point what you said, Lee, about this. We have to see. I think right now we have to check one thing about this, Mr. Enortap, is that don't need to be center right now. We fix some point the Kapanen. We have Dano. We have Villano. We have Jake Evans. I think the center position, we don't need new hook. And if you want to bet hook, whatever case. So I think the center, I think that could be now a winger. Now, again, how long he would be and how would he look like, I have no clue. But I think before we trade out, I think that would be something they have to look about. You don't want Caufield digging out the puck in the corner. Need a big boy. Dak Wenderson would be my pick on the team. Good point about that. You're right about this. First down, Rams after a challenge review on that one. As Sammy Blais play on the first line, it may be work a try. He has not. I don't think so, Stan. Sammy Blais to be that kind of player. TC is temporarily measured, but he is a better bet que Doc. TC is not exactly small at 6'2". It's not about the size or how tall they are, Maurice. It's about how physical they have to get there when you battle, go in front of the net, go in the back, and chasing the puck, and to give back the puck to them. So this is what we're talking about. It's not about 6'1", 6'2", 6'4", and I don't think they see honestly on that side. Again, Dak have to prove a lot more for what he gave to us this season. Again, is it? We try to patch up the situation about the eviness about this goals. Enortap, what are you lineup prediction for Tuesday night against the Wild?
Well, I think we'll see Dobesh in the lineup, and again, Minnesota gives us fits because they're a very rugged, big team as well. So it's not going to be an easy game. They're gonna do exactly what some of these other teams have done. And that's to clog up the neutral zone for sure. So I don't see any change in the first line. I still think you'll see Caufield, Suzuki, and Texier. Second line will remain the same with Slavkovsky, Kapanen, and Demidov. And the third line, I mean, I'd like to see, because I think he brings a little bit more physicality. I'd like to see Blais there with Deneau and Anderson, or possibly Bolduc in that spot, right? And maybe give a night off to somebody like Gallagher. Don't put him in the lineup just for this game. I don't think it's well suited for him either. And then your last line, you have Veleno, Evans, and who am I missing? It'll be either Bolduc
Gallagher.
Or Gallagher, yeah, if he's in the lineup. But yeah, I would give Gallagher the night off. I don't think anybody's returning back from injury for this game. So the defensive matchups I think are good. You got Matheson with Dobson, that's fine. Hudson with Carrier, who's been playing much better the last 4 or 5 games. I'm liking more what I'm seeing from him, and Goulet and Jacky. Now, again, I'd like to see Jacky play a little bit more. For the life of me, I don't know why he only played 7 minutes yesterday. To me, I didn't see any glaring mistakes out there, and he gave you some size, which I think was important when you're playing a big team, especially teams that like to run the goaltender and get in front of net all the time. You need somebody that'll clear him out of the way. So if they play him, or I don't know if they'll bring Struble back in, Coach. What do you think?
I don't think so. They would bring Struble. In my opinion, I think they would maybe change Veleno for Blais for bring a little bit more winger. Again, the Minnesota are big, like Foligno and the rest of the players, right? That's going to be the only change they would do with Dobesh for sure. On the line, I think they're going to keep the same line. If Blais coming back, they would bring Evans on the bottom with Blais, in my opinion. And Evans was play winger that last game, so he can use him as a center over Veleno about that. I think Veleno, yes, he can help in a PK, but at the end of the day, I think Blais, again, the Minnesota Wild would be a better fit for the Montreal Canadiens. We talk about bigger players, everything like that. So I think this is how I see that for the Montreal Canadiens. Sorry about that.
Brownie.
Yeah, Brownie, she's awake right now. She's awake, and now she bring clothes everywhere. She find a bag of the clothes right now. She carry on all the bags. And I can understand, 4 or 5 hours she's quiet, and then she needs some action, and nobody's here anymore. So she's the one, she needs something. Anyhow, I think that will be the lineup. It was a great question for sure. Montreal plays Tuesday night again, the Minnesota Wild. About that, Mr. I want to talk about number with you. and that would be helping same thing happening there. I think it would be a fun exercise. I'll go to remove Mr. Luciano here. I apologize for Luciano again. One thing that Luke cannot do is complain that he was not giving a chance for that. Ab could try trading Dak before the trade deadline. Plays back to Pittsburgh for recall to remaining $1 million about that. Pittsburgh will be interested what he's going to do, honestly. What he's going to do for them at the trade deadline. That's Enortap. I'm going to give you guys number, and I want you to hear that. It's nothing big, but we have about a couple more minutes to be together. First of all, Mr. Enortap, the Montreal Canadiens and 49 games they accomplished this year. They played 37 of the 49 games with the lead on that one. So we'll be interesting about this. All good, Luciano, on that one. Same goal for Dak. We have right now Mr. Enortap at the line at 26 at the Ram attacking right there. And they have a no touchdown, 4-7. And we have to wait if we have a kick right there. But Montreal played 37. This is pretty a good statistic with the lead. So at some points during the game, guys, Montreal lead. Won the 12 of the 12 game did not lead, so they're losing 2-0 after one period. They never came back in the game to take the lead. That's a really good statistic when you think about the Montreal Canadiens season.
Yeah, indeed. I think the key is sustainability, right? And hanging on to that lead and playing with it, a little bit smarter. Like that Washington game comes to mind when you had the 2-0 lead and you knew they were going to push the third period. You really had to pretty much have one guy, 4 guys back and one guy deep trying to dig out pucks, but nothing dangerous that allows them opportunities to get back into the game. And that's exactly what Washington did. And you could say they stole a point from us there.
Absolutely about that. We have a couple of people attacking each other. That's great to hear that. Chicago win the game, guys, 27-17. Field goal, Mr. Enortap, at the end of this game. So
LA won.
The Rams move on to the next one. Yeah. So the Bears said that Baltic is still struggling defensively in the system, Steven. About that, you're right, for sure.
We also forget he's a very young player himself, Bolduc, right? He's going through a lot of the changes and a lot of the growing pains that some of our current young players are going through as well. I mean, it hasn't helped that he's been thrown with different lines almost on a weekly basis, and he just needs to get a little bit of confidence back into his game. Like I think he'll have a lot to offer, but right now the confidence just isn't there.
Yep. Would be interesting. Edmonton lead 4-0, like Carl said. My next number, guys, is about Anderson. 3 goals in the last 4 games. Pace for 19 goals. The 21 guy is a number of the most goals he did with the Montreal Canadiens. He did 2 years back-to-back with 19 goals, and his highest number in the NHL is 27 with Columbus Blue Jacket. Every time he go and break away, we think he's not going to score. But the last 2 of the 3, he did it, Mr. Enortap, for Josh Anderson. Deal with the injuries, with the problem for the last 2 years, and he was play with all his heart last season with the Montreal Canadiens, and now he does the same thing. He got stopped because a couple of games ago with an hip injury, a couple of weeks. But we cannot complain about Josh Anderson, Mr. Enortap.
No, and you can tell when he's in the lineup, there's more confidence to our game as well. Like his speed adds a certain dimension, his size adds a dimension, his physicality adds a dimension that is lacking when he's not there. If he can pop in, 20 goals every year, like to me, that's that would be fantastic. He's I think 11 right now, 11 goals. So he's pretty much on pace to do that this year, and where you see the biggest value out of an Anderson is in the playoffs.
You're right about that. I agree with you. It will be a good interesting. We want to wish good night, Mr. Mark Elliott. And hopefully see you tomorrow night. We have a couple of put Anderson on the first line. I'm sure Marty is thinking about this. It's one that really ability come with maturity and maturity coaching as well. Marty will improve as a coach, shut down effort with time. That's going to go a long way. I mean, Gary Anderson is a very good player for the Montreal Canadiens. Next one, Mr. Tap. Excluding the overtime, Montembeault has now blown 18 of his 22 lead the offense has given to him. He has played better, but is still a major concern. How you feel about Montembeault? We know he the story come back from Laval, good for game. Yesterday struggling a little bit, but now the Montreal go from ménage à 3 à 2. People in the chat, how you feel about that? Are we missing something? How they should give a little bit more time to Tobias? Give us your opinion, all of you guys, and the chat we can sharing, and then also Mr. Tap about the situation with Montembeault.
Well, I probably have been a big critic this year of his play, just because I was seeing consistent mistakes that he was making throughout the course of the year. And I think the best thing that could have happened to him was to go down to Laval and get some individualized coaching there on that end. And I think it's done wonders for his game. I mean, he's still not. I don't think he's quite at the level that he was, let's say, last year. But he seems to be a little bit more stable in that. He's not caught out of position too much, or slides over out of his usual spot too quickly, or sometimes he would remain too much inside. And you're seeing that he's making that effort to make sure that he traps the puck as soon as he gets that first shot on net. So those are good signs. I'm still seeing a couple of things that I still see him a little bit too much on the ground, and teams see that, and today's NHL players are too talented. If you give them 2 inches above the shoulder and below the crossbar, they're going to pick that spot all the time. So he has to try, once he's done his move to the other post. I think he has to be a little bit more erect at that point, and take away any space available. It's not a hard thing to do. I get that the NHL goaltending has changed a little bit in terms of the approach that they used with their V positioning, but it also allows teams with today's skilled players to pick corners up at the top, especially on the blocker side. So that's one area I would like to see some improvement. But I do see he seems to be a little bit calmer in net. He seems to be a little bit more in control of the game.
Yeah, you're right about that. Look, I think for me, they have to go with, I think they want to give Montembeault the 2 versus 1, right? The 3 game per week. With 2 games, but I think Tobias deserves to play a little bit more, in my opinion, until he shows something else. I think Tobias should play. They make a risk. Hold on. She tried to get something else. They try with Fowler. They make some risk with Detroit, Buffalo. Did not work. But be interesting. Minnesota, Tobias. Big game Thursday is Buffalo, but now Saturday is going to be Boston. It will be interesting. He's going to go like 1-by-1, or they gave to get the net to Montembeault to give him the 2 regular game per week. We have to wait about that for sure. 30 game remaining, Tobias and Montembeault. One of them will need to win at least 11 game to all other 8 or 9 game for them. That gonna suit up this week, Luciano. Andy was tried a few times about that. Now, next thing we want to talk about is December 1st, guys. Montreal Canadiens lead the NHL with the most game at 25. I know it's not an excuse. I know it's not like and it was some team play 24, 23, 22 game. But still, Mr. Ottap, we can see the last couple of games. Montreal does not play a full 60 minutes, or they not play with the full intensity game after game, because the 5 games, 7 night, 3 night, back-to-back night, it's not easy for the Montreal Canadiens. So it's starting to pay. It's starting to be difficult for the Montreal Canadiens right now.
Yeah, and they had a lot of not just back-to-back games, but they had 4 and 5 nights. Like, the nice thing about this, even though they're tough games coming up, they have a day off in between each one of those games until the Olympic break. So it gives them an opportunity to either have a day off or to, more importantly, practice some of the things. Maybe they're 5-on-3, which they don't do very much for power play, and I think it'll go a long way to seeing a more consistent effort for 3 periods rather than running out of gas towards the end.
Yeah, that's something we have to understand the situation for them. Not done in that, but we're more. The Canadiens are the NHL first team this season with 5 40-point scorer guys. Suzuki, Caufield, Hudson, Demidov, and now Sekerski. One more, Mr. Ottap, with that part. First time since 1992-93, guys, the Habs have 5 players with 40 points before the end of January. Also, it's the first season since 2019-20 that Montreal has 5 players with 40 points. Point behind that, Mr. Ottap, is many years now, we've been never been spoiled with offensive side. We went 3-2, 2-1, and Carey Price, and we have Kovalev a couple of years ago, Patrick a couple of goals, Katchenuk 30 goals, Gallagher some point. But we never have a team like that well balanced from the top, and defensemen like Hudson produce offensive like we are right now. I think Montreal fans have to appreciate what we got in front of us for many more years to come. But it's fun to see Montreal Canadiens right now with that kind of the offensive they bring on the table. And this season is another great situation to see that, and the breakout season for Sekerski, the Demidov, amazing. And what about Hudson, sophomore, Mr. Ottap? It blew my mind, Hudson. That's crazy. And so hear what you feel about that situation, and also the people in the chat there.
Well, I agree. Like, the offensive output is there right now. They're scoring 3.39 goals per game, and the goals against are at 3.27. So the goals against, you want to improve a little bit. I know Marco's spoken about that on the Wednesday night shows quite a bit. I think we're in the proper range for offense, but defense has to improve. But it's promising because it means you're getting more offensive. Hey, Brownie. Hey.
See, this is you, by the way.
It's important that you have more diversified secondary scoring, and that's what this is showing you. After Slafkovsky at 40 points, the next guy up there is obviously Dobson, who's at 31. So the point is, after that, there's a big drop. And so that's where we want to get a little bit more stability with and depth with the scoring as well. Like, you'd like to get some production coming out of the third and especially the fourth line. It's not just a matter of trying to kill off some time, but we'll see how they address it. Right now, Coach, I personally do believe that there'll be some kind of move that Hughes will be forced to make, because there's just too many forwards with all the injured players that are going to be coming back. So, I mean, I would not discount the 3-team trade somehow, and that might address some of the excess forwards without the risk of losing perhaps Blais or Veleno on waivers.
You're right about that. Very great comments in the chat, left and right, guys. I appreciate all your comments tonight. Thank RJ Calabro. Next one, Mr. Ottap. 15th time come from behind win this season for the Habs. First in NHL. 7 come from behind and win. and the third period, first NHL. What this showed to me, character, resilience, perseverance, and that's come those words about the culture of Montreal Canadiens. Listen, guys, this is impressive. I understand they don't play great hockey game after game, or they don't play 60 minutes, everything like that. But at some point, we have to give credit. You cannot complain all the time. We have to get what they gave to us. And I think that's a really interesting stat, Mr. Tap.
Yeah, but just as it is impressive, it's also scary because that means it's draining a lot more energy in you if you're trailing and you're having to come from behind all the time. And one of the things that we've been saying is we're worried about injuries. We're worried about, do they have enough gas in the tank come third period? And I would add to that, how many of the games have they gone into overtime as well? So that's, you're asking quite a bit of your players to consistently perform at a certain level. So while this is a nice stat, and I would concur with it, it's amazing to have that it shows that they have character and they fight right till the end. It does drain you.
Now, you good point about that. I agree with you for what you mentioned about this. By the way, Gary Connery, we're going to apply to play on the first line with Luciano. And we'll see about that. Both cousins scored a goal, Mr. Tap. 5-0 for Edmonton. If everybody wants to see a pass from McDavid, I believe pass the puck to both cousins. Wow, yeah. McDavid is back, Mr. Tap. For sure.
Absolutely, he's got a big chip on his shoulder. He wants to make sure they go far again this year and win it.
Mr. Tap, let's talking about about Lane Hudson. Defenseman in the Habs history to reach 50 points before the team 50 game. He has 49. Larry Robinson did it 2 times, and that's it, Mr. Tap. Lane Hudson become the 3rd defenseman to do that at the Hockey Nation show. We're going to be complaining on Sunday night, frankly, Barry. If something's still on the Survivor poll, or we just start the new one. We're going to talk about this next couple of minutes. Mr. Top, this is impressive, by the way. This is blew my mind for what he bring Lane Hudson. I think I have another one for Lane Hudson, Mr. Top. Most point on the game-winning goal this season among the NHL defensemen. Lane Hudson, 11, lead with Kel McCarr, Brett Burns, 9, Zach Werenski, Columbus, 8. This is
quite the company.
It's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's a unicorn. We've said him many times. He's the engine that drives this team, and that's that you had up there with Robinson. I mean, you're talking about a Hall of Famer and Larry Robinson. So to be even in that conversation speaks to how much of a unicorn Lane Hudson is.
Yeah. What a great year. A2 mentioned him all the time in the chat, but he's right. I think we have someone, guys, we don't appreciate a lot on their eyes, Lane Hudson. Those two team won the cup, by the way. That's a good point about this, by the way, too. But Lane Hudson, guys, just unbelievable season he has right now with the Montreal Canadiens. Finally, guys, projection for the Montreal Canadiens for the next 33 games, like he said, M26. By the way, was great to see that. Listen, guys, Zuski, 90 points. Nazi in Montreal, Saint-Urgent et Danfoss in 1995-96. Of course, he did it. He never did it. Last year, he was at 89.
89.
Hudson, 70 assists. Nazi, Saint-Guy Lafleur, and 79 and 80. Caufield, 40 goals. Nazi, Saint Danfoss, and 93 and 94. Demidov, 69 points. Not by a rookie, Saint Dallin, and 85 and 86. Mr. Tap, it's like, this is what we have. This is amazing to see that. We don't talk about the Stanley Cup. We don't talk about, but night after night, we have a privilege to see them performing under our eyes now as a Montreal Canadiens fans. Remember, like a couple of years ago, guys, when they went to the Stanley Cup final, it was my first year as the host of the channel here. We went there, and what we got vibes, it was the Suzuki and Caufield. That's what we got. That's what we have. And then, of course, you have a Weber and, the Chariot and the Carey Price and the Dano Gallagher. But we get that first taste of Caufield. Caufield get back to Laval after that and then come back. And then you have the draft. Sakaski after that they got here. And then after that, you got Elaine Hudson join the rush. And now we got Demidov. Now, who will be the next? I'm not sure. Is it going to be Michael Edge or Zaraski? I'm not there yet. But right now we have a players, guys, that night after night give us a chance to celebrate and to have a good time. It's not perfect. It's going to be hard. It's going to be up and down. It's not like a line go up. But I think at some point we should be grateful and thankful for what they gave to us. And we make mistake. They make mistake. And that's part of the game. It's part of the management too. It's, are they going to, we don't know what Rebecca is going to be, but they are going to maybe have someone better to Rebecca. Say, we should get, it's possible. And it may be, the trade could be that don't turn to be good. It's possible too. But at the end of the day, I think we should be appreciated for what we have. It's just the beginning. That's the beauty of this one. It's just the beginning. Obi may be dead, Mr. Enortap, when he's going to go at their peak.
Yeah, and that's the nucleus of the team, right? And you still have the pipeline is still there, and they're going to continue to build on that. Like they're not suffering with their draft picks, right? They're fully stacked there for the future, unless they start using some of those to initiate some kind of trade, which is fine if it's in the right window. Why not? You definitely need to go for it. But it's you have the nucleus, and everybody's buying into, as we were saying at the beginning of the show, the culture that they're establishing here. They seem to like each other's company. They like being in Montreal. And winning begets winning, and that's hopefully what we're going to see for many years to come. And the important thing is it's been built with the right blueprint, right, for this to have sustainability for the future, not just for 2 or 3 years, and that's it.
You're right about that. It will be very interesting what you're going to do, Mr. Enortap. Usually we do the clash, guys, but you start to be late. I don't want to start the clash and then not finish it. So we're going to talk, Mr. Enortap, the preview of the game for the Montreal this week, and to maybe ask the people who want to join us on this one. Last week, Mr. Enortap, I don't know what's going on with me this year, Mr. Enortap, but my prediction on number of the point this year for the Montreal Canadiens is amazing. Every week, Mr. Enortap, I hit. It's crazy. I hit again last week at 5 points, Mr. Enortap, for the Montreal Canadiens, if I'm right. Right? Me and Claude Richard did it. That's because of you. I went last week. You said 6 points. Yeah. So I go with 5.
I go with 5, right? And so this week you're going to go first.
Now you're going to get that. Now this week we have Minnesota, we have Buffalo, and Boston. About what it will make me happy, right? It's 4 points for me. So we go with that 4 point on that one. But remember that one, Mr. Enortap. The answer is 3. But I will go with a bit more with my positive and my vibe I have tonight, guys. So I go with 4. But I think the answer is going to be 3 next week. 1 win, tie the game, but 2 losses at the end of the week. So they're going to be 1, 1, and 1 next week. But I go with 2-1 next week for this contest.
Yeah, I know Minnesota has the last couple of weeks hasn't been as strong as they had been, but they seem to be putting things together a little bit, and hopefully they can take advantage of some of the absences that they have in their lineup, key players. But we'll see. It's going to be a hard game. Another big team. Same thing with Buffalo. Same thing with Boston. I'm going to go with. I guess I'll go with the 3 then, Coach. I'm hoping 4 or more, but it's going to be a tough week for sure.
So all of you win tonight, guys. We said 3. That's because of me.
Yes, of course.
Okay, if I get 4,
everything's because
nobody
of you.
listen to me. About that, Mr. Tap, we have the best positive fans in the house. Just show up, Mr. Tap. Luc Lafortune is in the house.
Absolutely. What did he say, too?
Well, he was said 0. I'm pretty sure he's going to go that way, but we have to wait what he's going to give us. So he asked you if he missed any trade for the Montreal.
No, there's nothing that's happened. The only piece of news I heard is DeBrusque was not played tonight, so I don't know if there's something in the works there for a trade. So that's one thing to keep your eyes out for.
The only one go with 5 is Frank Lee, by the way. Barry go with 5. Most of the people go with 3 points this week. I think everybody will be happy if they finish the week with 5 points. Luke's at -2. I think he's messed up with the weather right now. Luke Lafortune on that one, but it's okay.
He's out.
Yeah, he's retired now, so he's losing a lot of things. Like he's lost his mind sometime, honestly.
No, not more than me.
But we like him a lot, honestly, about that. So, choice for you now for the goaltender.
I think Minnesota game, it'll be Dobesh, and then Monty for Buffalo, and back to Dobesh on against Boston.
So you go with 2 times Dobesh and 1 time Montembeault.
Yes, for this particular week, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, unless one of them really stinks up the joint in one of the games, then that could change the direction. But I just think Dobesh, was it Dobesh that played against Boston last time? I think it was. Or was it
Montembeault last night?
No, against Boston last time we beat him.
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember if it was Fowler. I think it was Fowler because he's from Boston. He's from the Boston area, so I think they put Fowler in for that game.
Yeah, some player got hurt right now for the St. Louis Blues. Songvis, guys, he got hit or something happened to him or his left foot. Must be the wood, the wheat. Luc Lafortune, Montembeault 2 times, Dobesh 1 time. Funny Frank, buddy, about that. And Dobesh, all 3 games, no changing goalie. Next 3 games. About that one. 8-2, I got your score, frankly, everybody, guys. So on top, we hit the 10:30. And like we said, we respect your time because you bring a lot on the table. And we'll see maybe Wednesday, if you're around, you can come back. Wednesday, hopefully, Marco is coming back also. If not, we'll see what's happening on this show. One thing, before you leave the building, Mr. Tap, you pay more attention you're looking for this week, if you don't mind. One specific thing maybe you're looking for.
For me, it's going to be, again, with the fact that I think they have the center ice position settled, I want to see them consistently win the face-off circle every single game. And I think they have the potential to do that.
Yep, so right. We'll have another great week in front of us. Game number 50, 51, and 52 for Montreal Canadiens. And don't forget tomorrow night, the NCAA Championship, Miami versus Indiana. We're going to do that game championship, talking about football. And of course, we're going to continue with Montreal. It's only week, Laval Rocket, and more show about the Montreal Canadiens. We want to thank all of you guys to be with us. Paul Mr. Enortap. We let you go, and I can't wait to see with you. And again, yes, something's going on, Mr. Enortap. I think Luciano is scared of you.
I think so. He's never appearing when we want him to be. He's got every
I don't know. Every time you have an excuse,
we'll
Mr. Enortap, the mic, I cannot show up. I look in the green room, nobody there, Mr. Enortap. He was lied to us, Mr. Enortap.
I believe so.
All right, Mr. Enortap.
We love you, Luciano.
Thank you so much, my friend. Coach. Thank you. Appreciate that. Mr. Enortap left the building, like PLW left the building. And of course, Luc Lafortune show up at the right time. Thanks so much, everybody. It was a great pleasure to be all together. And I apologize, I did not do the NFL game today, but I think it was fun to talk about the Montreal Canadiens. Tomorrow night football, Tuesday, Montreal Canadiens, and of course, all of you, thanks so much for Super Chat tonight. For Super Chat on Sunday night, guys, you rock the place. Roger Delaney, Gary Cournoyer, Run with Kings, and Guy did it at the Hockey Nation Live Show. Thanks so much, all of you, on this one. And then, of course, for all the people that shot tonight, thank you so much, Guy, to score a goal at the Hockey. Steven, thanks so much. And, of course, the Hockey Nation just get better and better and better, guys, because of what? It's because you are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Enortap, Sabotage, the Green Room, Luciano. Thanks so much, Lee. Enjoy. Glad to see you, my friend, with the Hockey Nation Show. Barry, wish you an amazing, great night. Have an amazing, great week. Algie Clabo, the news and update. Ron at the moderator like Luciano. Thanks so much, all of you. We love you, Luciano. And Pete Martin, have a great week. Be well, be healthy. Find a way not only dominate your day, but find a way to dominate the first half of what? Someone was 2026. The puppy just came back, said, hey, this is the end of the show. Hockey Nation, App Nation, and all the animal and kingdom of Thailand. One thing, one more thing. We love you, friends. Good night, everybody. Have a great week. I can wish you tomorrow night football at the Hockey Nation. Booyah, Luciano.